I love that.
Okay, now we're live. I like how I told the chat we're waiting on Karis, and then I'm like, fuck it. Oh, Karis, where'd you go? We're live now, by the way.
Hi.
I looked up and I was like, she's gone.
Sorry, I'm back.
So, hi everyone. Sorry, I have a rat sneaking around. This is the.
Where did you pull that from? You were just like,
she just crawled up with that. We're doing sneaky sprints, so I've brought Sneak the rat with me. They're sneaky sprints because they were spontaneous. But I'm here with some lovely people. I hate the backwards thing. Like, you're there for me, but you're there. I don't.
We're over here somewhere.
Do you want to go? You had enough. You don't like the. No, okay. You make your mind up. But these are spontaneous sprints because the three of us were supposed to start buddy reading Blood Moon by Lucy Cuthu.
I was right.
We were supposed to start buddy reading this on the 31st of December. I didn't want to start a book and then finish it in a different year, so I didn't start it. And then nobody else started it, and then we were going to do it yesterday, and then we did. So we're like, right, we're going to hold ourselves accountable. So we're going to sprint today, and we're going to sprint tomorrow on Karis's channel, and we're just going to go for as long as we stay alive, basically.
Yeah. So when you say sprint, you actually mean marathon. Like, we're just going to keep going.
Yeah, we're just never going to stop. This is us forever.
Never ends.
We haven't decided on a time for tomorrow yet either.
We'll probably just decide in the morning. We'll wake up and be like, "Are we alive? Let's go."
Yeah, stick around to find out.
We have hello. Hi, that's me. Oh. Hello. Hello again. Hi. How many people are actually here? Oh, 8 currently. Ooh, exciting. We get to double digits. Oh, 9.
So close. So close.
It doesn't actually oh no, what an absolute tit. I'm like on YouTube looking. Oh, it says 10 now, but it literally tells me at the top of the screen how many are watching.
Amazing. I was going to say, that's going to be you. You're going to be the 10th person if you're like, I'm watching my own live stream.
Nice.
Sneak, what are you doing? Can you just...
Also, Karis, I'm a complete suck-up because this is the bookmark that I've been using for Blood Moon.
Oh, mine is oh, I did actually start this. I'm on page 16. I lied. I have started this.
Outrageous.
But I forgot about it, so I'll probably just restart it.
I have no idea what's happened.
Oh, that sounds like the most fun. Reading in a bath. Not feeling terrible, but reading in a bath.
Yeah. I like that. Oh, I'm so glad you're feeling terrible.
Brilliant. Me too. Like, I am using this bookmark that I got from Izzy. Izzy sent me a Christmas card, and this was in it. And it's my favorite quote, which is "Stars can't shine without darkness." And I actually have one of my own prints up on my wall, and I sent a picture immediately, like, "This is it. Like, I have that quote." And then it's got the zodiac on the back. So.
I have not chosen a bookmark.
Jesus, Karis.
Oh.
I love that so much.
She just like brings up. That's on my wish list. Oh, it's on my mum's wish list. I need to change it. My mum was very horrible and has made me get my own Amazon account. I already have my own Amazon account, but she's like, I'm fed up getting emails with all the crap you're buying. So like, get your own Prime. So I had to go through my like 500 book wish list and re-add everything because you can't just take a wish list and import it. So that's
the upside of doing that, Emma, means you won't end up with 3 copies of the same book when someone gifts you an early Christmas present. Because you said you wanted a short read that you could get done in a day, and then you already owned copies of it.
In July. I only had 1 copy, so I only have 2 now. It's fine.
Oh, that's good. That's fine.
I'm the one that you gifted, and I'm going to get rid of the one that I already bought myself and forgot about.
It's such an
works. When you text me, you're just like, oh. And then when you sent those photos today, and there's literally you with it.
I love it. I even look like I'm looking at myself like, future Emma, you dumbass.
You're going to forget. You're going to forget you own this.
Check Please book 2. I tried reading that online, and I kind of got lost, and then I gave up.
You're a mess.
I just don't think I like reading like web comics.
I understand that, but what I like about webcomics is that I feel like I can come back to them, like read them little by little more easily. Whereas, like, if I'm going to read a graphic novel, I have to read the whole volume in one sitting.
Yeah.
Like, my mind. I've also been reading this.
Ooh. I need to read the Bone season.
I haven't read it yet. I've bought all 3. But I haven't read them yet because of my background. Very nice.
I actually have a story about these books because, and I'm going to tell it.
Wait, can you tell it once I highlight Carolyn's amazing comment, which is, if anyone needs to buy books, buy from Hannah's bookshop. White books, logo designed by me. Karis is just here.
I was chilling.
I'm trying not to buy too many books this year, so I'm kind of staying. I've signed up for a Box of Stories subscription. With the pizza girl. That's what Drama School gets you. Yeah, like I'm like only letting myself buy books, either pre-orders or like books I'm really, really anticipating, like next in series that I'm going to read, or indie bookstores. That's my excuses. I'm like, oh well, I'm supporting local businesses, so and friends, so like I'm allowed to buy books.
Yeah,
I'm hoping the fact that I'm just going to be very stressed and tired and busy means that I'm not going to buy books because I'm not going to be reading as much. So
150 books this year for me.
Let's see if
all aboard the Hannah Hype train.
Carolyn is the conductor of the Hannah Hype train. Everywhere I go, there she is, ready to applaud, and I love that.
Check Please is amazing. Hi, Katie. Katie, have you seen? I don't think you've. Can you please get out my hood just now? Your best friend needs to see you. Katie is the biggest hyper of the rats. I don't know if my new girls. No, I haven't done a live really since my new girls came. So that's Sneak, and so does In Her Cage. She's a bitey bitch, and Berry and Brewer in the cage as well. What's Hunt? I've never heard of that book.
Is that the werewolf one?
Oh, is it part of the Shiver series? That's why I don't know the name of it.
I feel like I should have to read those because I love werewolves.
I really liked Shiver. Like I read it when I wasn't reading, so
yeah.
Highly recommend Karis and
Kate
reading through Infinity. New rat. Ah, yes, we have a little black rat. She's a black badger. And she a big girl, even though she's younger than my other girls. Can you? I know you're shy, but like, say hello.
She is stunning. I love that she's got like a star on her face.
But it's why they're called badgers, because they have the white stripe like a badger does. Soda is the same, but she's a champagne color, so instead of black, she's like champagne then white. It's really subtle. I might go and get her in one of the sprints, but she's a bitey bitch at the minute, so I'm trying to work with her and be like, be nice to me.
Cute.
So cute. Yes. Anyone turning around and saying rats are ugly and disgusting and nah, you will be trouble.
You have to fight Emma, like physically fight
her. I'm the rat's best friend. You're the biggest champion. Like, well, I say, in everyone else's lives, like Jade and Molly's lives, everyone will be like, Emma, are you joining the live? And then Katie's like, yeah, get Emma, just for the rats. Crescent.
You need to set up like a live webcam into their cage and just have like a constant stream.
Well, I'm working on I set up a Patreon in June and never like shared it or anything, and I'm working through that. I'm going to edit the levels because like I wanted to do for like the expensive levels. I wanted to be like, oh, if you sign up for this, you get a one-off like T-shirt, like with like an Emma Novella shirt, and then maybe every month you get a sticker or whatever. But I was having trouble setting stuff up, so I'm going to do that. But I might have to do like a rat level where you like can get the rat exclusive content.
Love that.
Check Please on my TBR. Spirit Animal series by Brandon Mull. Every book and series written by a different author.
Cool.
Oh, so that's the Maggie Steve art, so it's not Shiver.
No.
I'll just look into that. So sweet.
So we're gonna find out what happened with the mask, the character book.
Oh yeah.
There was a story, and I'm intrigued.
Well, I won this in a giveaway, but that wasn't the story. I was going to talk about the first book in the series, which was the Bone season, and like I feel it's a really difficult situation because I didn't like the second book in the series that much. Like it was just fine. I'm liking this one more. But the Bone season is like literally one of the first books I read like that got me into like proper reading, and I mean that like beyond like Harry Potter and Michael Morpurgo as a kid, like like the generic stuff you read when you were 10 years old.
Yeah.
And then between like the ages of like 12 and 16, I just basically only read Hunger Games and John Green. Oh, and Divergent and all those.
Yeah.
But like that was it. It was like the mainstream stuff, and that was it. And then the Bone season was like the first book that I read that was not talked about like in mainstream, and I read it. It was like one of the first books I read after my dad died as well, and so it meant a lot to me because it got me back into my love for reading. So I'm very happy that I own this.
Oh, that's so lovely. I love that. I didn't read about it because I didn't know about it until last year. Didn't know it existed.
I got the first book the week it came out.
Well, because I think I was the same as Keris. Like I read a lot as a kid, and it got to the point where I would read basically whatever I could find because I couldn't afford necessarily to buy my own books. So I would borrow from the library a lot, but then I would have to wait for my mum to buy and then discard books. So I read a lot of adult romance, which is why I think I hate it so much now, because I just resent it. Like all the stories are the same. Like they all have the same. Like my mum and I were watching My Best Friend's Wedding this morning, and I love that one purely because it doesn't have a traditional ending. Like I was just so sick of those things. But I think I just read whatever I could get my hands on. And it was only when I went to uni that I started buying books that I wanted to read. But then I would just read a series, and the series that I would find would be like The Mysteries of Ixia, which is by Maria V. Snyder. There's like 13 books in that series, and I would just read all of them like just in a row. So I didn't necessarily know about any kind of like anticipated reads or anything like that, and it was only going to uni and kind of borrowing books off friends that I would finally start to like have my horizons opened. So it was only when like I got to BookTube and everyone was like, oh, the Bone season, and I was like, I really should get to that at some point.
April, I think the 23rd of April is my 6-year BookTube anniversary, and that just scares me. Like obviously I was like on and off. Like I went from like 2015 to like it must have been 2015 to 16. I think 17 I didn't do anything, and then 2018 is when I like came back. So like I kind of only see myself like Emma Novella was like 2018, but even then that's like 3 years, and
you're professional.
I'm such a profesh. Even though I stood on the lights the other day and smashed it. Luckily, I only use one when I film, but
at least you got a spare though. That was smart. I don't.
Reading the stories on ebook and the first Bridgerton book on audio. So everyone's talking about this Bridgerton, and I don't know if I want to watch it or read it or what I want to do. So I'm really bad for this. Like all these things that get really hyped, and there's like multiple ways to consume it. I'm just like, no, I just won't.
Too much.
Too much, overwhelming.
Yeah, I want to watch it by Catherine Woodson. Is that a novel in verse? Because I know a lot of her work is, or at least some of her work is, and I love a novel in verse. We are reading a novel in verse, so if it is, it's going on the wish list.
I've seen a lot of Bridgerton, and I know that it's kind of like historical fiction, but it feels like it's got a modern feel to it.
Yeah.
And I don't really like historical fiction generally, like books, media, any of it. But if it's more modern, then I might give it a go.
I underestimate how much I like historical fiction, and I tend to only read it between November and February, typically February. So I need to try and get into it more. I do actually have one of my most anticipated releases for this year. What's it called? Hold on, my journal's right here. Let me find out. It is called... Where is it? I thought it came out soon. The Summer of Lost Letters. It comes out June 15th, and it's like this girl finds letters that her gran wrote in like the war or whatever, and like there's like a mystery, and I was like, oh, that sounds good. I had rats when I was a kid. Yeah, these are my first rats, but my cousin used to have some rats, and like whenever like animal handlers, like I used to go to like a lot of animal handling sessions and like see exotic animals, and like I was always like, rats, oh my gosh, like. So yeah, these are my first babies, and I love them.
Bridgerton was written in 2000. That's why it feels modern, because it's not. It's historical fiction, not a classic. So with like Jane Austen and the Forsyte Saga and stuff like that, they're really, really heavy, and the TV series will really try to stick to those as like an adaptation, because you get nerds like me that go, a porcelain bath didn't exist, you know, like as they're watching it. Whereas with like Bridgerton, you can have that modern language because although it's set in a historical era, it's not as hard. I really like the clips of it that I've seen. I don't think I'm going to read the book because I feel like I want to just binge it. I just want to watch the whole thing because I really like Sanditon, the TV series. But although I have the canvas, the Collins canvas or whatever it is, the actual narrative is rubbish. But I really like the stylistic of like Jane Austen and all that sort of stuff. So for me, I'll watch the TV show. I probably won't read the book.
For me, it's not even classics. Like, it's just anything set in the past I don't necessarily enjoy. Like, I tried Rain and like it was fine, but I couldn't really get into it.
I got 22 people, and I'm like, oh, we've got double what I was anticipating.
Yeah, Rain was not good though. Like, Rain was really not good.
Like, there are other shows that I have tried that are like set in history that I don't know what it is. I don't know why I can't connect to them in the same sort of.
Try Ripper Street. It's like crime and it's set in like Jack the Ripper time, but I loved it. I didn't like the latter kind of seasons. I don't think I finished it, but the first couple seasons are really good.
The first 2 seasons are epic, but then they're a BBC drama. I bloody love a BBC drama. But yeah, it's a murder mystery, but they're all kind of just after Jack the Ripper has kind of destroyed London, so they're all kind of like linked to it in that way.
But I think it's a guy who's very Captain Jack-esque. I love him.
There's a surprise that's is he your favorite character? Because I love his sass. Like, he's just great.
Speaking of, did we watch Doctor Who last night?
Yeah,
I watched some of it. I didn't watch all of it. We watched the Carry On film instead.
Everyone's like, oh, I get so mad because like I think it was like you. I was talking to Harris on Twitter, and somebody was like, oh, if Jodie had better writing, she would have been a good doctor. I'm like, she is a good doctor. Shut up. What do you think about bonus?
I can understand that though. I think that
I do get it. Like, she would be better if she had good writing, but like this is me kind of verging off into the conversations that the three of us have in our group chat. But Doctor Who's turning into a supernatural situation where like you can't just be a casual fan. You either have to go in deep and appreciate the shit, or you just can't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a bit of both because I was a fan as a kid when it first came back, and then like obviously I've grown up with it. Probably that like it started the same time as Supernatural, like they both started in the same year, so it's like a strange situation. But with Doctor Who, with the more recent seasons, I feel like I like Jodie, I like her energy, I like her acting, but I don't like the writing and I don't like the words that they make her say.
13 to me is such a headcanon autistic character because like, you know, the scene where like from like, was it her first season, second season?
I didn't like the first season at all.
Graham like confides in her about cancer, and where are you going? Why are you on my head? What are you doing? You're gonna fall. No, these are not a ledge. So like I'm just gonna continue. The doctor's like talking to Graham about cancer, and everyone's like, oh my god, she was really blunt and like she wasn't supportive. And I'm like, but that is so how like I as an autistic person respond. So like I do get why people don't like it, but at the same time it seemed so fitting to me. Anyway, this is not a Doctor Who conversation. We can
for days.
The Patreon will include Doctor Who live streams.
Yeah.
First book is Wildborn. Do you want to go down there? Bye. By Brandon Mull. Pretty big series. Books are like between 200 and 300 pages. Happy belated BookTube anniversary. Katie came in late. We are all reading Blood Moon. Did I not clip that in the... Oh, it's in the description. Honestly, Katie. Just look like 2 centimeters below you.
You know, with this as well, I just posted something to Instagram and I saw Sabine commented on my post saying that she's also starting this book today.
Oh, get her in. Sticks and Stones. I suppose Katie might have actually been asking the group, not us, what we're reading. Sorry. Jumped. Abby BookTube anniversary. Probably post something next week. Lord of Shadows, but don't think I'll read because I just woke up. Read.
I love Lord of Shadows. It was the best Cassandra Clare book.
Good morning, good afternoon. It's probably evening for some people. Reading The Stand, page 158 of 143. Wow. You can do it. I read Les Mis in the span of a month 3 years ago now because it was January 2018. I can do that. I have all the faith in you that you can do that.
The one about like an illness as well. The Stand.
I have no idea.
I love that you're like, oh, confidence though. We can definitely do it. I was meant to read The Count of Monte Cristo. I got 500 pages in and was just like, I'm wasting my month. And that's it. I put it down again. I was like, no.
Oh, we're gonna get distracted in a second because of Carolyn. Supernatural hot take. I really want to rewatch Supernatural seasons 1 to 5 and then stop.
No, make it all the way to like at least 9. Like do it to at least 9.
It's so good though.
I can't remember how far I got. Can we just point out we've been live for 20 minutes and we haven't sprinted yet? It's fine. We'll go at half past.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
I got seasons 1 to 13 for Christmas on DVD, which I was kind of like, oh, I kind of want to wait until like the entire box set comes out. But like, is CW even going to like approve that? Probably not at this point. But I can't remember what season I got to. I think I saw season 9. Like, I can't even remember the last thing that I saw. So I'm going to start from season 8 and then go up. And then I'm going to start again. And I'm going to do what Karis does, have like a big spreadsheet and basically like compile the TV show.
Yeah, I'm happy with season 6 again. I started, so back in November, I started rewatching from season 4. And I watched all the way through to the end of season 14. I don't have 15 on DVD. Oh no, actually I started rewatching season 15, ready for the end. Then I watched season 4 to 14. Then I went back to season 1, and I went back onto season 6. So that it's something. It's going.
I think I got about midway through season 8. I think that's where I was.
Yeah.
But Supernatural really angered me with the ending.
Don't. I'm still upset.
We're that is a touchy subject. Move on.
I actually cares about Supernatural, cares about my channel. I did Supernatural season 15 reactions for a lot of the episodes. Not all of them, because the end really stressed me out, and I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. But I'm planning on doing a video summarizing my thoughts and feelings about the whole end of the show. And I was going to do it like a couple of days after the finale, and then the finale happened, and I was like, nope.
This is immediate.
Yeah. So it'll be a while, but it'll come.
Good morning. It's 23 minutes past 3 in the UK, but good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm not hyper enough for singing. Wish I could read right now, but I have to go adult today and go food shopping. Okay, food shopping's fun. Well, without a pandemic, food shopping's fun. So good luck.
It's just stressful.
I made it to like season 4 like 3 times, but never make it any farther. Do you know what? Like,
season 5 is the best. It's the best season, hands down. I have a spreadsheet rating every single episode. Not one episode was rated below a 4-star, and most of them are 4.5 or 5 stars. So you have to watch season 5. It's just incredible.
You might have the same problem that I did, which was like, I was trying to watch it and then I would stop for a few months. I'd be like, right, I'm going to start again. And like, I've got to the point where I feel like I've seen the first at least 3 seasons way too many times. Like, see, the thought of watching Wendigo, it just kills my soul. Like, I'm over it. I'm fucking over it. And like, so
it's literally the second episode. Just skip it. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, but that's the entire 3 seasons, which is now what I'm doing.
You see them far too many times. Do you know how many times I've seen seasons 1 to probably 10?
At least double digits.
Oh yeah.
Probably nearly 3 digits.
Yeah, I think no. I think I've seen seasons 1 to 5 maybe 12 or 15 times. Between that.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm literally dedicated. So like, because Gothtober is obviously vacant at the moment until it gets to like actually talking about the like readathon this year. I'm just doing a reread of Supernatural and just posting shit about that on Gothtober because I'm like, not using it for anything else at the moment. Let's just talk about monsters.
I gave up my big Christmas gift this year for my mum to buy me the expensive ass season 1 to 13 box set, and you're telling me I could have got it for free?
I bought myself the DVDs.
Hannah?
Maybe.
I don't know. Where do you live though? Because shipping.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've got the box set 1 to 11, but it doesn't have 1 in it. My brother must have like borrowed it, or I've lent it to someone, or something has happened to season 1, and that's the like I wanted to start right from the beginning.
Yeah.
So
Well,
actually good.
I had like individual DVDs for like seasons 1 to 7, and then I gave them to a friend in high school. Like she wanted to borrow them, and she gave me like 80s DVDs because she wanted me to get into 80s films. And I gave her DVDs back, and she never gave me mine back, and I'm still bitter about it. Especially because we don't talk anymore.
Swansea, oh my god, big up Swansea.
Oh my god! Anyone know this means? I don't. For the love of,
I don't know.
Winchesters and Castiel.
Oh, don't, I'm gonna cry.
I bet you that's what it is. So there you go. Karis can just go and pick them up.
Yeah, I could actually.
Just knocked everything off my desk. Oh, chaos, chaos, chaos. Something watching either binge a season or watch like one episode in a month, get way too emotionally attached to something, watch something. Oh no, I am like 10 episodes a day. Like I get invested. The reason I did not read as much as I could have last year is because from like March to July, I was binge watching Bones. And like it's so funny because everyone was like, oh well, you know, your granddad died and all that stuff. Like it was an emotional time. And I was like, no, I was like, my way of grieving was to go, I'm gonna watch this crime TV show he used to love and I somehow haven't watched, and did that instead of anything else.
That's fair.
Yeah. But with Supernatural as well, there's so many episodes that if you watched one a month, it would take you like
10 years.
Yeah. I think if you watched one episode a day, it would take you almost.
Actually, no, there's like 22 episodes, like roughly per season. So you're talking one season every 2 years. You're talking 30 years to get through.
Yeah. There are 327 episodes.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. It's a lot.
My dad and I are watching Bones every morning, watch one episode, because he likes to watch like a crime drama whilst he has his breakfast for some bizarre reason. And I was like, if you make it Bones, I might also get up at a reasonable hour. But it's really hard because I'll watch an episode and it'll have a really dramatic ending. And I'm like, well, now it's time for us to watch another episode. And my dad's like, no, now it is time to adult. Let's go do some work. And I'm like, oh,
chaotic.
Why are you like this? Why are you like this?
I have the spreadsheet for you. It's not the one I've made, but there is a spreadsheet out there that's like skip, must watch, good, but you don't like really need it. There is a spreadsheet out there, and I will put it in the chat for you right now. You are welcome.
Oh, I shortened for the love of words and coffee. I like now for the love of Winchesters and Castiel. So it's a fight between. I was going to say it's a fight between Carolyn and Hannah, but Hannah has the DVDs, just not season 1. Or Caroline. Oh my god, we've got a Caroline and a Caroline. Emotions just hit harder through series or movies. My autism just makes it hard to watch anything scary since I absorb emotions and get panic attacks. Yeah, I feel that. Like, I can watch scary stuff, but depending on my mood, which can change like hourly, it's a no. The way that I attach to series, it's like, I don't know if this will make sense. It's probably make sense to Tamar, but like I will like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like I just get so invested, and I'm like, I need to be with those characters, and like I just need to like live in it. Like I've been rewatching Criminal Minds, and I haven't watched it in like 3 days, and I'm literally like, if I don't see Spencer Reid, I will implode. To be fair, I think I just really fucking like Spencer Reid and Matthew Gray Goobler. So like that, there's that. But yeah, I'm with you. We've got 1 minute. Let me get through these 4 comments. Started watching Supernatural for the first time on Amazon Prime, then it left. Yeah, I was pissed. I was rewatching it and it left, so I got the DVDs. That's Karis's link. Things people do for Supernatural, but the spreadsheet might get me to watch the rest of the show. I'm USA, so if they're UK DVDs, they won't work unless I buy a UK DVD player. Yeah, that's that. I don't understand regional things with DVDs. Like, stop. Right, let me share my screen. Chrome tab, timer, share. Oh, it does let me still see. Let's just zoom in a little bit more. I don't know what I'm doing.
I really enjoy your concentration face of.
Why do we do that? Like, why do we?
I do, because that's the only part of my glasses that's clean, but I don't know about you guys.
It's past. Do we want to sprint for half an hour, 20 minutes?
No, I have not been reading enough recently to be able to read for 30 minutes straight. You can do half an hour, but I won't.
We'll start at 20.
Let's do 20. That's cool.
And we'll build up. So let's go. Remember, mute your mics because I will always forget.
did the link show in the second thing I sent? Because if it shows in like part of a comment that's also got words in it, then I'll send it again. If not, Emma can just put it in the description. Can't you, Emma?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I like how it's like we all need to mute and I mean you're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not showing up. Sometimes they do. It's weird. Wait, no, I think if I post it, it'll share.
I'll message it to you.
Yeah.
Oh no, I will do it on Twitter because. No, Emma, it's just coming up as like docs.google.
I did the wrong thing.
Oh, hold on.
There we go. It should be up there now.
I just want to point out that I just made the weirdest noise.
You speaking scared the shit out of me. Like I was so like deeply ingrained in my book that when you spoke, I felt my whole body go.
I would apologize, but it's too funny.
I'm gonna watch this back later and be like, there it is. There's where Hannah pooped her pants.
Yeah.
Ooh, don't like that. That's better.
I finished my chapter with 2 seconds left. I say chapter, like section.
What page are you on?
60.
Nice.
I'm 54.
Oh, 58.
Oh, so we're like pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, right? Okay, let's talk about the book. I love her friends.
Her friends are great. Her friends are great.
The way she's like, "Oh, you look pretty there. I'm gonna take a picture of you." I'm like, "Ah."
I just love her dad. He was like, "Oh, gossip." I was like,
yeah, but I feel like the problem with me, and like I know this is gonna like, I love that you guys have come positive because I'm like, negatively, I find her really irritating because I feel like she doesn't actually appreciate her friends. So I was sat there thinking, like Harriet's seeing like all the fun stuff and she wants her to be involved, and she's like, so who do you fancy? Do you fancy this boy? And like getting really excited for her, and she's just like, ew, you're gross, and I'm like, excuse you.
I can kind of understand it though because she's quite. I don't know, like it's a. I don't want to say graphic because it's not graphic, but it's quite like intense. The way, like as someone who identifies as asexual, I understand why she might be feeling like, oh, stop. Because, like if you get too sexual, like the way like that would like cut me off too, and I'd be like, shut up, don't want to talk, like leave me alone.
Yeah, I can understand that, but if she's like, oh yeah, Harriet's my best friend, I've been with like this girl has been like with me my entire life, I kind of feel like it was the bit when she was talking about like the astrology and she's like, oh, I thought she only thought about boys, I didn't realize we still had stuff in common. And it's like, but you I don't know, I guess there was just me. I get that the Harriet needs to be overtly sexual for her to seem like it's completely normal for her not to be at that end of the spectrum because she's so nervous about it. And I think that makes complete sense. I think the bit that kind of got me is just, you know, it's the little snidey comments she's making about Harriet's actions. Huh?
She's making them in her head though, isn't she?
Yeah. But I think that's the thing that, sorry, my cat just got spooked by wrapping paper. That really tickled me. Yeah, so I think those are the things, it's those little things inside her own head that bother me because she's lovely to Harriet and Harriet is lovely to her, but when she's just like, oh, I hate it when she's being fake, and it's like she's posted a photo, like
it's like you're being fake.
Yeah, like you're not telling, she's asking you a question, she's showing an interest in you, and if you could like by saying like I don't want to talk about it or I don't know how I feel, that's honest. By saying like nobody, like that's I don't know. So for me it's just that I'm sure it's like
I don't know.
I think it's going to be about their friendship anyway, so it's going to be.
I think it's normal for. What happened?
I nudged my desk and everything just went woof.
Oh no.
I think it's normal for friends to get annoyed at their friends too, though. Like when you spend a lot of time together, it's like a sibling relationship when you're just like, oh, shut up, like I know this is just you, but you're just really annoying me right now.
My best friend were born 13 days apart, and honestly, we are more like siblings. Like, we will genuinely, like, she and I will fall out. Like, I remember being at oh, there's a really nice sunset outside. Sorry.
Like back in the room, Emma, back in the room.
We're going to have the same sunset as Edinburgh. No, so like I remember in high school once, and my friend was like, oh, she was like, come up to the shops with me for lunch. And I had like a really sore stomach, and I was like, no, I'm not going. She's like, well, fuck you, and like disappeared. And everyone was like, oh my god, that's so mean. I was like, that's just what we're like. Like if we don't do what each other wants, we get pissy with each other. Like people would genuinely think we hated each other, but we're just like that.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
I understand why you're getting annoyed at her, but I think I've read a couple of books. I say recently, not recently, where the main character really annoys me with the way they kind of are towards their friends or towards themselves, and this isn't annoying me in that way. It feels kind of actually realistic to me.
Fair enough.
Maybe I just get annoyed at my friends easily.
Do you know what it is? Maybe it's because I know I'm the Harriet, and I'm just like, hey, she's just doing her best. That's probably what it is. And like, I loved their little chat at the beginning when it was like in the text format thing, like with everyone piping in. I was like, oh, I'm trying to work out like which of the friends I am, and I'm like, yeah, maybe it's that. Maybe it's because I'm Harriet, because I'm like, who can I set you up with? Like, that's fair.
Okay. So everyone else, read one chapter, try to calm my body down pretty hard, but your mind is chaotic as well. 2021 is going to be rough. It's not going to be rough. It's going to be incredible. Okay?
Speak it into existence.
manifest.
Yeah.
But also I get it entirely. About 20 pages.
I thought I said 200 for a second. I did like a double pick.
You know what I'm saying about chaos?
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Oh, my laptop was just so excited that Emily's here. Emily's been in the comments on like Jade and Molly's lives. And then somebody in one of the lives was like going off about self-diagnosis and basically saying it was invalid, and I was not having it. But yeah, no, I'm glad, Emily. And as I've said in those lives, like, I don't know if you're on Twitter or Insta or whatever, but like, feel free to like message me about anything. Like, I am so here for it, because like I know what it's like. People like to just brush off and be like, oh no, get over it, like, you're fine. And it's not good. It's nice to have people that can actually understand. So I am here, and that goes for anybody. Specifically regarding like autism, but like if you want to chat, like, I'll do my best. 9 pages for me because I'm a turtle and I joined late. Hello, Hannah. the Hannah hype train is still going strong.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, here in this Discord server, and support me. I love to have Kat and Carolyn about.
Hold on, I need to just...
Oh, and Jamie. Jamie's about too. Love that for us.
What's your favourite book, Hannah?
My favourite book?
What kind of question is that?
Like,
ask people.
Like, it's so hard. Like, I'm really good at doing like, okay, top 3.
Wait, like, what book would you say is like your brand, that if people were to like think of Ladette M, they think of this book?
I have no clue. Like, I've no clue. Like, I've got books that, like, okay, they're very emotionally attached. I'm very emotionally attached to, but I don't think I haven't got a brand. Like, I just read whatever I like. So I don't know if I've got.
Gothic fiction is your brand.
It's becoming that. It is becoming that. And I would say that Jekyll and Hyde is probably my favourite Gothic novel of all time, because there's just something about like the way it's put together. Like, it's not a difficult read. It's a clever mystery. Like, there's layers to it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah,
but like,
as well.
Usually the answer that I give, if someone's like, okay, what's your favourite book? I can narrow it down to pretty much like the His Dark Materials series, the Northern Lights. But the reason that's my favourite is because the first boy I ever fancied recommended that book because it was the only book he'd ever read. And I have had a longer relationship with that book series and Philip Pullman than I ever did with that boy.
That was a very long and entertaining comment just for me to be able to do this.
Yeah. I love that. I love that so much. That's hilarious. Thank you.
You're welcome. Right, where was I? 20 pages. Didn't read. I have no excuse. Just sleepy and kind of stared at a page. My life. My life. Watch my friend play Harry Potter Lego game and shout at it.
That is so relatable. Okay, quick story time, because I'm chatting Kathy today.
Personally, like, oh, are we only going to like stream for an hour because I'm busy? And then she's like, story time. Like,
I actually really do need to get some work done, so the next time we sprint, I'm going to do some work. But when I was in uni, in my second year, me and my friend moved into a house with 3 other girls who didn't know very well at this point. And we were there for about 2 weeks before classes started, so we had nothing to do. And we played Harry Potter Lego on my PlayStation for 2 weeks straight. And we just played as Harry and Draco and pretended that we were there. And like had a look at each other, and then when you can pick up various different characters and you can change what they look like, we would just change them into the half crumb, half shark person. It was the best 2 weeks of my life.
I love that.
I now want to try and get a copy of this game just for this half shark situation.
Amazing. We were like I was pretending to be Harry and she was pretending to be Draco, and we'd be shouting at each other as though we were those characters, going shark crumb, shark crumb. And there was one level where you can pick up about 6 of them. It's like the Quidditch World Cup in Goblet of Fire, and you're trying to like find all the Weasleys and make sure they're safe. And every time we found a Weasley, we would just change them into shark crumb, and eventually we had like 7 shark crumbs just following us around. Amazing.
Does J.K. Rowling get any money if we buy these games? Because
no.
oh, good.
Yeah.
What?
Secondhand.
Yeah.
True.
Unless they use direct script from it, it's highly unlikely because the characters will be owned by Warner Brothers now, as opposed to. That's why when she adds like things to the world, it tends to be like the Newt Scamanders and the Quidditch and the things that she's created, as opposed to characters, because she will have had to have sold them when the films were made.
Yeah.
Ah.
Anyway.
Joe!
Oh, I haven't spoken to Joe in ages.
No, do you want to join? I know you don't create, but like if you want to join, I will send you the link because I fucking miss you. Literally, like, don't I realized like the other day because like Joe and I hung out. I think it was the 30th of December, and we read Soloway together in Waterstones, and we had a great time, and we laughed about a mug, and there was some sort of tote bag that I was going to get at BookCon, and that didn't happen. And I realized I haven't seen Joe like the entirety of 2020 because
I've never met Joe in person.
Oh, Joe should have been at Yalk. If Joe had been at Yalk, that just would have been top tier, fucking top tier. Clearly not the biggest average Joe stan. Like,
hate it.
He doesn't know that, but you do now. Hi, Joe. We're married. I complain about my best friend a lot, but if you come and complain about him in here, yes, this is Karis, and like, she goes and complains, and I'm like, I fucking hate them. She's like, no, they're lovely, and I'm like, fuck off.
And I'm like, yeah, but it's me.
Hello, Jamie in Bookland. Oh my god, I feel like this, like we've got like a little clique of people that all know each other. Hi. Lots of love. Popped in your DMs once was great. that could be taken in such a different way. Like especially the conversation Hannah and I had before we went live.
I didn't listen to that bit.
Yeah, you weren't there.
You were there for that bit.
We were discussing the fact I'm in a cropped hoodie, so I need to be really careful, or this turns into a different kind of live stream.
Yeah, and I said not to give away free titties is what I said. That was my contribution.
I'll give them away, but you have to pay. That's
never without lighting.
More Hannah hype train. If you don't know, Hannah has a book.
I do.
I do not own yet. Which is a problem.
You've got the PDF. I've emailed you the PDF though.
Yeah, but I want a physical one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially now I can see the characters. That is not acceptable.
Drop me your address. I'll post you a copy.
Good. Just think of Hannah's own book she wrote. Where did this come in? I don't know where this conversation came from.
I was when you were asking me about what my favourite book is.
Oh,
you were like, I'm like, no, that is not my favourite book. It's not even my favourite thing that I wrote. It's just a thing that I made.
Also, Hannah, I need another book from you right now. On you go. Like, read it now.
I'm working on it. It's been delayed, but I am working on it. April is when it comes out next.
Sorry, there's a rat on the floor. How the fuck did you get there? Sneak. No, don't go. Where are you? You're black. I can't see you.
I heard of that.
Yes, we're going to read The Bachelor Contract by Rachel Van Dyken.
Is it romance?
It sounds like it. The Bachelor Contract.
Yeah.
Book 3. Ooh, Jekyll and Hyde. This is How We Fly by Anna Mariano. What did you do with your finger? Multiple things. I staved it. So like I had fake nails. I had acrylics on. And it got caught and it like bent my finger and it like sprained my finger. So it really, really freaking hurt. And then my nail came off and half my nail is gone. So I had my fingers taped to like keep it straight. And then when the nail came off, I was like, nail tech, what did I do? Because I'm now missing a fingernail. And she was like, tape it back up again. So
TLDR, Emma's a mess.
Basically, no, I'm not. I'm basically clumsy as fuck and always injure myself.
I thought Karis just covered that. That's what Karis just said.
I was a wuss.
Mess.
Oh, mess, yeah. So I thought you said wuss, and I realised I think wuss is a Scottish word anyway, so if you'd said
I know wuss.
True. Well. Guys.
Sorry.
Sidetracked. Keris spent 45 minutes the other day being the best teacher, and I can now hold on to like write it.
I also want to point out that this was at like 11:30 in the night.
Literally, like
doing it in the dark, in bed, in the dark, trying to teach her how to say the longest.
So this word, this is the longest place name in Wales, and I haven't said it in a few days. I think it's the first time I've said it this year.
You woman.
That
was pretty good. That was pretty good. You missed it. In Santa
I feel like you missed a couple.
I always say Lancilio instead of Lancilio.
No, it's Llanfair Pwllgwyngyll go Gerich Chwyn Robl Santa Silio go go go.
Santa Silio go go go.
Yeah.
So yeah. Hello. I'm going to do some writing soon, so we'll be joining. Well, you could do writing in the sprints, Joseph.
Yes, Joseph.
Honestly.
Yes, Joseph.
I probably
get my ratties. Yes, I have 4 now, and they're my favorite things. Oh my god, bless. Soda, the other champagne, she started biting recently. Like it's kind of like not even territorial. She's like bottom of the pack, so she's trying to bite me to be like, you're not the winner, and it's like, bitch. And I messaged the breeder because she managed to get me like. So I'm not giving you the finger, but she like got me right at the nail bed, so it made it bleed. And I was like, she's drew blood. I'm pretty sure it's just where it was, but like, what can I do? And bless this woman, she was like, I'm so sorry. Like I've never had any of my rats like do this. If you want to swap her, and I was like, what sort of like shitty owner would I be? If I'm like, my rat is test biting me like once, and I'm gonna give her away. Like,
but some people actually feel that way though, don't they? Because they don't understand animals.
Yeah, that's why the RSPCA ends up with like so many like pets at Christmas, because people assume that just because they've seen other people have pets that they're really easy to deal with.
They don't understand you've got to like work with them. Like especially that's the thing like with rats. People think rats are like even hamsters are like people don't know how to take care of hamsters, but people see rats and like, oh, they're easy pets, and it's like no, like
an easy pet, a fish.
Yeah, actually no, fish are fucking stressful. My mom got to look after, and she went on holiday, and every day I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where are you all? No.
Yeah, because they eat each other, and you need the right temperature and the right water. And you have to when you put them in the tank, you have to do it in like a really you have to leave them in the bag so that they can breathe. And then and it's such a faff. There is no easy pet.
The only pet that is like
insect
easy are sea monkeys or a rock.
Yeah, pet rocks. They're the easiest pet, unless you lose them, which I definitely would.
I thought I knew what I was in for. Like I did know it was going to be a lot of work. Like they need to be out of their cage for at least an hour a day. But like Berry, my smallest rat, like I've had to put tape and like cardboard up the side of my bookshelves because she can fit in the tiny gap between the shelf and the wall. I have a chunky sticker on my laptop that when I've had my laptop on my bed, they've chewed. My books have I've had to get like really unprecious with my books. Like I used to be like no broken spines, none of this. So like now if I have a book that I love, I do not have it like out off the bookshelf like when the rats are out because they will chew it. Like that's just the gist of it. Like everything's a mess. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know where Sneak is right now. I'm hoping she's just like on the bed, but like you just can't keep track of them. It's an absolute nightmare, but like it's a good nightmare. It could have been a lot worse.
The easiest nightmare. So
anyone with the last name Baccarisas is a bot who comes to BookTube Lives. Oh, well, I'm glad I'm popular enough to get a bot.
That's fun, actually.
And so they just recommended a random ass book. Hello, Sabrina. Writing is the second easiest thing to procrastinate next to laundry.
That is not true.
One of the worst things that I have to do, this going back to rats, is cleaning their cage, especially the one I have just now. Like I'm still waiting. It's been months and their new cage hasn't arrived, but it's got tiny doors. So doing like a full clean out of their cage is the worst fucking task. So it's great when I have like a lot of shit I need to do. Like just before Christmas, I had so many commissions to finish, and I was like, I'll clean their cage. So the rats choose their care. Their care is my primary like procrastination task. Mm-hmm. So they end up being like, Mom, you've cleaned our cage 3 times this week. Stop.
Yeah. The only time that the whole house is immaculate suddenly or I seem to have just purged my room of loads of stuff I don't need. It's when I have an essay due. And, like, I've got like smaller deadlines leading up to April because I'm self-publishing something else in April, and I just know that March and April my home will be immaculate. It will just be tidy all the time. It won't get done.
The real question is, did anybody else hear Hannah say the whore house instead of the whole house?
No, I didn't hear that.
I think you've got a certain thing in my brain.
That is true, Katie.
I agree, though. I think writing is easier to procrastinate than laundry because, like, at least at some point you need clean clothes. You know?
Robbie here. That's because I gave him a row. I was like, bitch. I texted. I was like, bitch, I'm on a live and you haven't even popped in. Like, fucking rude. That's what I mean. Like, see me. If I'm nice to, okay, I was gonna say if I'm nice to you, I don't like you. That's wrong. If I'm nice to you, I probably like you. But if I am mean to you, like, you can tell the difference between when I'm angry and pissed and don't like someone and I'm mean, and when I'm just like, you're like my closest bitch and I fucking hate you. I would love to speak Welsh. No, you want to speak Gaelic, then Welsh. Not that I can speak Gaelic, which we established, but that's how I got to learning how to pronounce that word, because I couldn't speak Gaelic, and I was like, fuck it, Karis, teach me this. I'm
relearning Welsh.
We had a rat in our garden. That wasn't fun. No, wild rats. Like, fancy, right? So, education time. Pet rats' official names are fancy rats, which I love, because you have rat shows where people show off the rats, and it's like, oh, the Fancy Rat Society, and I just picture them with like a top hat and a monocle. But yeah, so yeah, wild rats are something else, man. Like,
we had a dead one in our garden.
That's gross.
Oh, fun.
I'm working, so I'll be answering emails during the sprints. Love that for you. It's always funny to me because in Scotland, the 2nd of January is also a national holiday. So, like, Christmas Eve and Boxing Day aren't holidays, only Christmas Day is. But, like, even the Post, the Royal Mail, they don't deliver on the 2nd of January because Scotland, obviously, we, like, invented Hogmanay, New Year's Eve. Yeah. So it's so known that we get that pissed that we need 2 days to get over it.
I love that.
I have 4 cats now. I miss rats. My see, story time. Don't even think about it. I've got so much shit on my desk. I keep nudging it. So I had to move in with my gran for the 3-week lockdown in March. Still here. And obviously back at my house, we got Hector in November 2018. So, like, I was leaving my puppy and my cat Theo, who's going to be 9 this year. And my gran has a cat, and her cat hates everything. Like, her cat is terrified of the rats. Like, if I've held them and I go downstairs and he smells it, he like runs away. Like, you know, most cats would be like, oh, like, you smell good. He's like, fuck, get away from me. So, like, I had to fight to get my rats because I was like, either let me bring Theo here or I want rats. And she was so against it. She was like, absolutely not. And I just kept whinging. I was like, but I want them. But why not? So she was like, get them. And then I was like, Gran, like, I need a bigger group of rats because 2 is not very fair. Like, they need a bigger group, at least like another 2. She wasn't having it. And then she was like, oh, we'll do it anyway. They're now her favorite fucking things. She named one of them. She will come in. Like, last night she came in and she had like 5 toilet roll tubes and she was like, a gift.
Oh, I love that.
That's so cute.
3 dogs, a cat, a turtle, 3 hermit crabs, and I'm getting 3 rats. I have a problem. The only problem you have is that I am going to come live with you.
Yeah.
That's a menagerie, and I'm here for it. I like also that they're all in groups of 3s.
The poor cat and turtle are on their own. I'm telling you now, if you haven't like already like confirmed the rats you're getting, just get 5 because you're gonna want more anyway. No, 3 is a good starter number. But you'll probably end up getting more. But my cousin has a pet supply like business. She has 2 Rottweilers, 3 Maine Coons, 2 blue macaws, 3 African greys, 2 cockatoos, 2 Eclectus parrots, and about 15 cockatiels and a couple budgies. It's wild in her house, and I fucking love it. And she's got a newborn. Her baby was born. Oh my god. Lucy's a month old today. No. Sorry, that just blew my mind. Do sea monkeys still exist? Because I suddenly want to buy some. Yes, they do still exist.
I never thought they were real.
I thought it was just like, people just had empty tanks. Like a friend of mine was like, "Oh yeah, I've got sea monkeys." There was literally nothing in this tank. Like it was just sand, like floating.
Yeah,
like,
I think they died pretty quick. I'm gonna actually let's see. Sea monkeys. I think it's just some sort of bacteria, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
They're a type of bone shrimp.
So weird.
Sea monkey lifespan. Well, apparently they live for 2 years. But they reproduce
That's a lie. They don't. They don't.
It's like people think goldfish live for like a year, and those fuckers live forever.
There we
I
go.
don't have a cat for the moment. My cats kill brown rats. It's because you all get pissed. Exactly what I said. That's exactly what I loved Hogmanay while I was there. I don't really care for it. It was so cute this year though, because one of the kids in the street made little like posters and put them through the door, and it was like, "Come to your front door or into your front garden at 11:50 p.m. to bring in the new year with your neighbors." And it was like so precious because like obviously can't really do anything or do first footing, so everyone just in their garden like waving to each other.
That's cute.
2 dogs, 1 cat, 3 kittens, and a bearded dragon. Oh, hi Siobhan. 1 rabbit and a ton of fish in our pond. We got the fish with our house. I like that. Like you buy a house, you get pets.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That would be brilliant. Could you imagine if you bought houses and it was like, if you buy this house, you have to take the 3 dogs that are in there. Like 5 chickens and a bearded dragon and hopefully a dog. My uncle has chickens and I fucking love them. They're so funny. And hi, Siobhan. Okay, it's 17 minutes past, so we shall go at 20. How long do you want to go for? 20 minutes again?
30, I'm going to do uni work.
Oh yeah, you're going to do uni work, so that's fine.
I'm going to, well, it's not even uni work, it's school work.
Yeah.
I'm stressed, okay.
Oh, I've been throwing this fucking word up. Go away.
What's the lesson on, Keris?
Well, one of them is on we're doing creative writing with my year 9s, and they're going to be creative writing Something Wicked This Way Comes. Prompt. And then the other thing I'm going to work on for now is Myths and Legends with year 7.
Oh, I like that. That's cute.
Yeah.
Have you done the task where you give them that photo? When I did my training, we were given a photo of like George and the Dragon, but there's like 3, I can't remember what the painting is, but there's like 3 people in it. So it's a girl that's obviously been like the damsel in distress, George, and then the dragon. And the idea is that you write for 5 minutes from each perspective, and then you choose which perspective you like the best. So you write as if you're the dragon, then you write as if you're George, and then you write, and the idea is that they like mood boards what the difference between, like, the dragon will be able to have like a heightened sense of smell, George might be really arrogant, the damsel in distress might be sarcastic or whatever, and then they do stuff like that. And it's quite it's a fun little task.
Yeah,
but it's very little teaching.
Yeah, I would probably do that with my like older classes, but not this one. Yeah, because we're working towards a creative writing piece, and I don't even know where my book is. I need to find my book. We have like this little booklet of all these different short stories of myths. So like we've got Gellert and things like that. That I need to read with them first, and then we're going to work towards the unexpected hero or the unexpected Jew.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Sleep has decided to go to sleep somewhere under my bed, so love that for me. Husband just does nothing to curb my pet obsession. Tell him thinking getting it on a pregnant kid just shrugs. And a 50-month-old and due another in April. Oh, I love that for you. That is like my future, like not being pregnant. Not yet. I mean, I am kind of broody, especially when I see pictures of Carter, but like if you guys haven't seen Zoe's all booked kid, oh my god, he's fucking adorable. But yeah, like I need that person in my life that's just like, chill, you got home a dog, whatever.
It's chill.
Hannah, guys, you're gonna make me cave and get a hedgehog. Do it.
Do it.
I
Someone
love
in uni I knew had a hedgehog, and it was the cutest thing ever.
I want my puppy and never a rat. I will say that I know this is like just a turn of phrase where people say, "Oh, I want a rat," but like I will always be that person that's like, you need to get they need to live in group with pairs. Some people get pairs. I got pairs at first, but get at least 3. Trust me. And we're at 20, so let us. Oh, hi, just me.
Yeah, leave it on that.
I love the zoom in as well.
What's going on? I'm so confused. I want to do a thing, but I can't do a thing. It's not letting me do a thing.
You were sharing your screen earlier. Is it that you're trying to do?
Where did Karis go? Add to stream. I'm so confused. I've done something to Karis.
Can you see me?
There we go.
Yeah.
I want to do this.
No.
Right, let's sprint. Oh, stop it, Emma.
You know that comment I made earlier about you being a professional?
What a fool.
Can I just interrupt to say that there's a bit where Harriet is like overtly flirting with her teacher, and I know I said I was like Harriet, but that is one thing I never did. I was not the flirt with your teacher type. Like that was never a thing. I just feel like I needed to clarify that.
I was thinking about that before, like the last sprint we did, and it actually really stresses me out because, like, obviously I'm training to be a teacher, and I was just getting like, stop it, and then I'm like, no, but she is like technically it's creepy, but like she's the child in the situation, so like she's not technically doing anything wrong, but I'm still just like.
Like for students, it's such a normal thing for students to fixate on teachers because they're an adult, they're an authority figure. Like there's so many like psychological reasons why that's a thing, but like there is such a line, and it's really like that was the hardest thing for me because when I was a TA, there was a student that went around and told everyone I was his girlfriend, and he ended up being suspended for sexual harassment because he was telling everyone that, and I felt guilty because even though like I'd had one conversation with him, like the fact that he'd gone around and told everyone, I could have lost my job. So I reported it, but I felt sick, like I felt so physically like guilty. So like it's a really, really hard thing to navigate because at the end of the day, yes, it's a completely natural thing for a young person to find an older person in authority attractive, but there is so much power there. It's really dangerous.
There was a teacher that we, like a bunch of us really liked in high school. Like I've got a selfie with them, like the Christmas dance. I was like, fuck, I need a selfie with you because I like you. But like there was never a question of us actually like trying to like pursue anything. Like that's the difference.
Yeah, it is absolutely.
The thing is in the school that I went to sixth form at, there was a teacher who was having a relationship with a student when my sister was in the sixth form. My sister is 2 school years younger than me, and so I'd left by this point, but this like all came out during the time my sister was at the school, and
yeah,
and he was.
How people have those stories though. They're so common.
And there was like a lot people like knew about this as well. Like not knew about it, but like Lily.
We've got the timer going, but we were just like, fuck it, we're talking now.
I just needed to interrupt to let you know.
But he oh god, I got something stuck in my throat. He was banned from going to prom for years because when he was like a really young teacher, he would flirt with the sixth formers, and he was banned from going to prom. And I remember the prom that either I went to or the one the year before was like the first time he was allowed back at prom. And then the year after I left, it came out that he was having a relationship with a 16-year-old, and it was like, okay.
It's really, really scary. But like there was my sociology teacher told me that during his training year, he went for like a night out. Like he said that he doesn't go out drinking anymore in the town that he works in because of like the story that happened. So basically like their flat was in like the town centre. They went for a drink. His flatmate, who was also a teacher, came back with someone, and it turned out that it was one of the sixth form students that they just bumped into on a night out. And he was just like, that for him, like he could have lost his job, like it was just awful. And he's like, he wasn't even the one that did anything, but he came downstairs and she was wearing his rugby shirt on the sofa. Like I can't think of that. For me is my ultimate nightmare. Like I can't, like that's horrible. So
stressful,
gross. So
Lily, you'll be happy to know we're doing reading sprints. Obviously we've stopped to chat, but I'm doing uni work, and I had Taylor Swift on. We were talking about Taylor Swift yesterday.
Right. Sprinting.
Yeah, sorry.
I was just wondering if like I'm listening to music while I'm doing work, and I was thinking like if I played it with my mic on, would that be breaking copyright?
Probably.
Yeah. It's just such a pretty song.
What's the song?
The Lakes by Taylor Swift from Folklore.
Oh.
It's so nice.
Yeah, we would definitely get copyrighted for T Swift.
It's a good song. Everyone go listen to The Lakes right now at the same time. So we can just experience it together. I'm not kidding.
Hannah, are you at page 100 yet?
92. I'm so
God. Just Frankie's dad.
Okay.
You'll get there.
Is it the hair thing? Is it the... Fair enough. Really? I was listening to Lakes as well because I was like, I want to know what everyone's talking about.
It was Robbie. Robbie messaged me. It was like, at least no one's erupted like Gavin did in a live show. And I was like,
that to me was my favourite thing because he was so like, I'm not even going to look at the camera, so no. It was great.
And I think Karen just has the whole thing muted because she's not even reacting.
No, she's not. She's definitely still listening to Taylor Swift.
Wait, no, she just had poker face.
No, I am listening to you, but I'm just trying to quickly finish what I was doing before we start talking again.
Did you not?
Yeah, I heard that. I was just ignoring you.
No, I got to the bit where Benjamin was like, oh yeah, I'm a rugby player, so I'll give you a piggyback. And she's just like, and I was like, no.
I got to Wednesday and I stopped to do some journaling.
Cute. I love any time rugby boys are mentioned in books because writers always make them the softest, like they're either like proper like lads, or they are the softest boys out of like any sport. And it's just the most wholesome thing. I love it so much. Because it just reminds me of all the boys that I used to hang out with that are like, oh yeah, no, like I'm like great with the ladies, with the girls, and you're like, you're not. You're so unsmooth. Like it's
rugby boys. They're always the nerds, aren't they?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. My best friend, we've been friends for like 18 years. He's a rugby player. He's a rocket scientist. Like, that's literally what he does for a living. He does aerospace engineering.
Pretty awesome, to be honest. Yeah.
Absolute nerd.
So what did you think of the Lakes then?
I didn't get to listen to all of it. It was interrupted by a fart.
Yeah, but like, was that a fart? I didn't realise that was a fart.
No, I think it was a type sound.
Oh. It was a fart sound on YouTube.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I got 1 minute 36 in. That's where I got to.
Yeah, but like what you've listened to.
I mean, controversial. I'm not a massive Taylor Swift fan in general. I like her lyrics. I think like the eulogized bit got me. That was quite cool, but I don't know.
I wasn't a big Taylor Swift fan until Lover, and then I was like, oh.
I get it now.
Yeah. No, my music taste is kind of like Bullet for My Valentine, Metallica, Avenged Sevenfold. Very different. Very, very different. So, but I think the thing that I love about Taylor Swift is how her fans, like when something comes out that she's made, just the joy is like when her Folklore album came out, and like Twitter was just everyone being like, oh my god, I'm so happy. I was like, I love
remember there was that one Taylor Swift fan from like Germany or whatever who went camping, and she literally said, if Taylor like does anything, like let me know or whatever. And it was like the day after she went camping for like 2 weeks or something that Taylor really said. Everyone was just like following her account just to see if anyone could like, if she found out. It was so wholesome.
Cute. Yeah, like I love that. I love that. But
my music taste is quite eclectic, I think. It ranges from like Panic and Fall Out Boy and All Time Low to show tunes.
Yeah, I've got an entire playlist dedicated to musicals that I know every word to, so that I can sing along in the car when I'm by myself. So
yeah, I have similar ones.
Love that.
Oh my god, you're all a hoot. I'm loving this. If anyone gets this reference, like in the comments, because I don't, well, Hannah might, because you've been in a couple of those lives, but Kara's who wheezes or Sneaky Sneak.
Sneaky Sneak.
And Lily was confused. We're always confused, Lily. Planning some videos, Lake Supremacy, Miss Swift's company is no joke. Songs.
Yes, as it should be. As it should be.
I think it's my favorite one. Still my fave. I listened to Folklore for the first time last month. And I can't remember like what I thought. I haven't listened to the new one yet.
The new one's better in my opinion.
I like Cardigan and Exile. I know that.
Oh, I love Exile. The thing
I can't really remember the rest.
When Folklore first came out, I was like not in the mood for it. I think it was summer, and it's very like autumnal, wintry album, and I was just like, I don't get it. I don't get the hype. And then when I was writing my essay, I was listening to it, and I was like, oh, this slaps. This is good stuff. And at first, I felt like all of the songs felt the same, but the more I listened to them, I'm like, no, they are very distinct and different. They are just the same genre.
Oh, Tamar, I hope you're okay. No, don't do that. Let's not do that. That's the most I can help you. I'm just like, don't do it. It's just no.
Well, don't, like, be gentle with yourself. Like, even if you're feeling emotional, that's okay.
You know what? That's something I realized, right? Obviously, like everything, like last January, like I'm on edge this month because, like, for those that don't know, in the comments specifically, my granddad got really sick suddenly this time last year, and I ended up getting diagnosed with cancer, and he passed away. And it was very quick, very sudden. And then I ended up moving in with my gran, and then COVID happened. So, like, we've not really processed it. And, like, I was reading the Traveling Cat Chronicles just at the end of the year. And, like, I kind of knew what was going to happen. But when this scene happened, it just, like, got me. And I was like, I think it's the book. But then it's also just all this, like, emotion that I haven't been able to deal with. So, like, yeah. But I do think, like, it was so good just to have that sort of catharticness or catharsis, I suppose is the word. Like I'm kind of learning that. Like sometimes like breakdowns fucking suck, but I do think they can be really helpful. So hopefully this is happening, and then you've like I don't say hopefully you feel shitty for a little while, but like hopefully you start feeling better.
Yeah, it's a process at the end of the day, and I think there's something quite dangerous about people who don't allow themselves to feel those, like, because I know I'm emotionally like up and down all the time.
And I
like it just can be really dangerous. Like for me, I know that if I don't get a good cry in, then I'm going to feel rubbish for days, and I will just feel low. Like, and then sometimes I put a tweet out the other day that was like, I'm feeling a real bad case of the sads. Like I was just sad. I had no reason to be, like there was nothing wrong. I just felt really, really low. And sometimes you just need to let yourself feel those things.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter that it's only the second day of the year, because it could happen any day at any time. And just know that
time isn't real at the end of the day. Like technically it's
not go into that.
It's not real. It doesn't actually mean anything.
The way to look at it, rather than look at it as this is how I'm starting 2021, look at it as you leaving all of that with 2020. Because obviously, I don't think the last 48 hours have brought this on. It's obviously been stuff from like 2020. Yeah. So it's you getting rid of that negative energy.
Yeah, and also crying actually like releases certain words, science stuff, like hormones. It releases certain hormones and stuff, like, I don't know, science, but I know that it does certain things and it's actually really, really healthy and good for you. I've cried more over the last 2 months than I have.
I think there's something about this, and what it is that we remember, like, not to like take it away, it's like a placebo. Like there's actually not really anything that crying does specifically, but we remember like feeling good after crying in the past. So therefore, when we cry in future, we're like, oh, I feel better now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carolyn's been looking at hedgehogs.
I endorse that. Do that. Buy yourself a hedgehog. Do it. Yeah. Like Carolyn's been working out like really hard recently and really like making big strides in taking care of herself. So I think she deserves a hedgehog.
Yeah. Although, like we warned, you have to like feed them bugs and stuff, which means you have to keep bugs in your house.
I mean, in fairness, the rats, they get mealworms. They can be dried or live, but live's better. It's like I would love a snake, but like, can I feed them rats? Probably not. Could you imagine just accidentally picking up your pet fancy rat rather than a feeder rat and being like, shit, because I would do that.
Yeah, you
Tamar's asking, what was that? I'm assuming that was the fart. When Gavin did it, it was funnier, and I was hoping I had seen your comment, and I was hoping that it would make you giggle and cheer you up a little bit, so I hope it did.
There was me just like completely
not been thinking about whatever upset you. Robbie going, oh god, he actually, you know what? I used a YouTube soundbite. However, when I said, should I do it? I got sent this. So there you go.
Amazing.
Swifties are unparalleled.
They are.
Camping girl, Lily knows what I'm on about.
No.
She's a nice on. Kat is having none of this shit and is discussing reading pages for me and through another chapter of Oathbringer. I'm loving the celebratory emoji because so many people in lives like I only read 5 pages and it's like you read though like
5 pages, yeah. Really.
I mean, Kat did read 16, so like triple, but like you know,
congratulations.
Yes, all-time low. Same Karis, that was obviously about Taylor Swift.
Something.
For another eclectic listener, Yuruma Disturbed. Oh my god, I listened that one version of Sound of Silence that Disturbed did is like my favorite thing ever. Five Finger Death Punch, Taylor Swift, all the music. My top songs of the year. It was like Jonas Brothers, Westlife, soundtracks from musicals. My top song of the year was Bo Anderson. I'm going to use this as a plug. Bo Anderson is someone I went to like a theater group in the summer when I was like in high school, and she used to go to it, and now she's a fucking pop star that's like she's gonna blow up. I'm telling you, her shit is so good. My top song from her was Sweater, but her like most recent solo single that wasn't a cover, Island, fucking brilliant. So go listen to. Actually, I'll put a link in the thingy when I can be bothered.
I just got a text from my godmother with this picture saying I need this outfit, and it just makes me so proud.
Yes.
It makes me so proud.
Anderson Island. Don't play because I'm not copyrighted. Let's just bung that in the comments. Yeah, you have to be in the mood for folklore and Evermore. See, that's the thing. I listened to folklore and liked it, but I'm not really in that kind of zone.
Yeah.
So like, I'm giving myself a few days before I go into Evermore, and I also want to listen to it from like I know that like artists put thought into the order of their albums. So I do like to try and listen to it all the way through because I know it's kind of like sometimes a story or whatever. So like I feel like
the first time you listen to an album, you should do it that way.
So 100% just crying out the unneeded baggage in 2020. Yes, Robbie. I know Robbie's discussing like what Tamar was doing and kind of eloquently saying what I was trying to say, but I also would not be surprised if that's what Robbie was doing. Neurotransmitters, Karis. Was that the technical word you were trying to say?
I would not have thought of that word. No.
Bugs don't bother me. I think it's cool, natural. Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't like it. You know, everyone's pets at home and they have like the reptile section. They've got like all the live food. Yeah. I don't like all of it in the little Tupperware, like bouncing about. That I don't like. So I would have to like get their food every day because I don't want it like stored. Like, because the thing is, I know it's like bugs in the circle of life and all that shenanigans, but like, I still think like, you know. If it's like why like I'm not vegetarian or vegan, so like but I try and make sure I'm eating like free range eggs and stuff. Like if these creatures are going to be consumed, I don't like the idea of them living like a couple days of their life in a tiny little box.
Yeah.
So it's a very complex, hypocritical process. I'm aware.
It's not hypocritical because I think the idea is like I think something that has come into conversation a lot more recently because there are so many like more vegan options than there ever have been before, is the idea of certain moral values that we give to certain animals that we don't give to others. And I think we're always going to have that conversation. And sometimes like people are not morally one way or the other. You can have cognitive dissonance, which is where you can think two things that are opposites at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't like animal cruelty. I do like bacon sandwiches. And that is something I have to navigate every day.
Because I was saying about having like a snake. I'd love a pet snake. And I don't really have a problem. Like if I was, you know, like if somebody was like, this snake is, you know, it needs care and you're the only person that can take it, I would feed it rats and mice, even though I own pet rats. Because like it's the thing, it's like with chicken though, like because I did a course on it. The chickens we eat, broiler chickens, I think that's the term, they're specifically bred to be consumed. Sorry for vegetarians that are like not a fan of this conversation, we will stop in a minute. But they are specifically bred so that they have like the big breast, so you get a lot of meat, and they physically just like they can't live. So you get all these like people who are like, oh my god, like rescue them, give them homes, and I'm like, they're still gonna die. Like the only the solution is to stop eating chicken. You know, if we were to stop eating it, the species just wouldn't exist. And like, you know, that's a fair enough argument, being like, well, if they only exist to be consumed, like that's cruel. Get rid of them. But you know, it's like people have it in their heads that these animals could be living a full life, and it's like they really wouldn't, because They're not built for that.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't like the idea of keeping little bugs in a horrible situation when they're going to die.
Feeding, like, the animal eating bugs is not the issue. It's just that I hate insects.
Yeah.
Like, I have a fear of insects and bugs and all that, so that's the issue.
From what I remember from my dance degree, crying releases oxytocins in the body.
That's the word.
Endorphins that ease physical and emotional stress and pain, closest to my mom's dream of me being smart. Might take January for full-blown research on hedges, and if I do 31 days straight of working out and I still really want one, I let myself get one. I'm sure I get one.
Yeah, I love that. Positive reinforcement.
Yeah, I approve.
Yeah, do
that. But also, don't force yourself to work out every single day.
No.
Like, you need rest days. Like, I mean, obviously, I'm presuming you're doing like cardio and like weights and all that. But like, you know, you can have a break. Like, your body deserves that. Faith band is AJR, and I saw them live in 2019. Okay, I'm gonna do my other thing, right? This A thing, right? This is Americanized. That AYE does not say A, it says I. Which in Scotland means yes, like I'll do it. And I've kind of gotten used to it now, and I do see a lot more people going like AYY, but every time I see it, I'm like, that sentence doesn't make sense. Which, to be fair, if it was a Scots sentence, everyone else would be like, what the fuck are you saying?
I would hear it as I, though.
Yeah, too. But anyway, I don't know who AGR are. I need to.
I looked at it, I was like, I recognise the name. I know exactly one of their songs, and that is Weak, and it is in my wake up playlist because I just like it's a great song. So clearly, I need to spend more time listening to some AJR.
Yes. I cry probably once or twice a day. Favorite mood is crying in the rain and feeling all washed. Robbie is so dramatic. He likes to pretend he's not. Also, for anyone who doesn't know Robbie, his glorious profile picture I drew. But I just want to shout him out because this boy, I'm saying this boy, he's literally 30 years old. This man does not get enough love or what's the word, like appreciation for what he does. Like, he does self-published Sundays where like on Sundays he reviews a self-published book. Like, this man does the most for self-published authors and does not get the credit for it. So go subscribe to Robbie's channel and Hannah and Karis's, obviously, but you know.
Self-published
and read Hannah's book. Oh my god, Robbie, collaboration time. Hannah made this book.
Sorry.
So self-published. There we go. Nothing beats a good old-fashioned shower cry for some person. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I can't deal with crying in the shower. It's too much at once. It's like,
too much water. You know, I should really find Sneak because I need to like sort dinner soon, and I'm really concerned where she is. Or I'll just have to open the cage so she can go back in and then deal with the fact that Barry's gone AWOL. Anyway, that's a worry for another minute. Here, yeah, Kat, my shower's either the crying booth or the karaoke bar. Hell yeah, shower karaoke. It's also the movie scene when you're in the rain after a really dramatic breakup. Because for some reason, for somebody who doesn't care about relationships, I do love dramatic acting scenes.
You are very dramatic.
I've full on like cried in the car driving home after a breakup, and I just remember like pulling up outside the house and like drying my face, and I was like, if my film was playing, what song would be in the background? I think it would be.
If I'm on like a car trip, I always will like sit and have music on, and I will just like imagine movie scenes to go with the song.
Yeah, I can't cry in the car.
I think there's value in understanding where your food comes from and buying happy chickens and pigs and cows for yums. But yeah, like I completely understand, and I like value the reasons people have for like choosing not to consume animal products. But I do agree. Like I do agree with the people who argue that, you know, you should be more conscientious of it. Like I had no idea about chickens until I don't even know why I was doing it. I just found this random course from Edinburgh Uni online. I was like, I'm going to do this, and it's free. So I'll link it if it's still available. But it was like all about the fact that these chickens, like they only live for like 6 months and they are purely bred for this purpose. And I was like, oh, because like, I remember like at the time I just had like a vegan friend, you know, one of those vegans that's just like a bit too far with it. The stereotypical one that ruins it for people, like that, is it vegan teacher or whatever on TikTok? Oh my god, she's crazy. But they had basically just been like, no, these chickens should be saved so they can just live lives and like become pets and everything. And I was like, you know, and I remember speaking to them after I found out, and I was like, well, you know, what's your plan? Like, they're going to go extinct. And they were like so adamant that these chickens would like live forever. And I'm like, I'm like, because they were like, their issue is they wanted these animals to live. And I was explaining to them that if they want these animals to exist, they need to continue being consumed. Otherwise, there's no need for them and they will be extinct. And they couldn't get it in their head. And I was like, it was like you could tell they weren't actually thinking morally. They just wanted to like appear it. And I was like, it's like, I don't think you understand what you're arguing about right now. But ugh. Rest day, yoga only. I like the idea. And shower crying. Was just song about parental divorce and I cried. Oh,
fun times.
I know another bookish person to check out. Robbie, can't wait to see your content. You're welcome, Robbie. I'll be reading Hannah's book this year if everything goes well. I will 100% read it, Hannah. So will I when I get my copy. I need to send you my address.
Please do.
When I rode the bus to school, I listened to music and imagined all the ways I would be a badass when I was older. Yet here I am walking, reading books like a normal person. Oh my God. I genuinely, like, I think back and I'm like, oh, what did I imagine my life would be at 24? And I'm like, not this.
I can't think that far ahead.
I don't even know.
I imagined my life at uni, like pretty much the entire of my school existence was to get me to uni because I imagined this great student lifestyle. And I was in my third year when I realized I have no plan beyond this. What do I do? Like, how do I adult? And that's why I'm still at home.
Yeah.
When I was like 7, right? I was that gifted child, you know, who was like more advanced than the other kids, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, you're so smart." And I had it in my head that when you left high school, you had to go to college and then you could go to university. So university was this like big crazy thing that not many people did. And I had this like, it was called like a VTech like laptop that you could play like educational games on. And I used to pretend at like 7 years old that I was like at university and I was like so smart. At like I wasn't even pretending I was like 18. I was pretending I was 7 years old and I was that clever. I was at uni. And like, I look back now, I'm like, I don't have the qualifications to go to uni because I left. So the way it works in Scotland is 5th year, you'll do, so 4th year, 3rd and 4th year, you study like, what are you called? Well, they're changed now, but in my year, it was standard grades. You take those exams in 4th year and then you can do higher year. Huh? 14, 15.
Right, okay.
Basically, that is, so year 7 is primary 7, year 8, year 9, year 11. And then year 12, you do hires or you can do intermediates. And then year 13, 6th year, if you stay on, because you can leave after 4th year, depending on ages, but that's the whole thing. And then 6th year, you can do more hires or advanced hires if you've done the hire. But I left halfway through 5th year, went to do like drama stuff at college, hated it, left, and then went back for 6th year. And I point blank refused to take half the subject. So I only done 2 hires and you need at least 4 to go to uni. But the problem is, right, this is the bullshit thing, is you need to get them over one sitting. So if I went and done 3 more hires, it doesn't, well, it does now because I'm an adult returner, but because I done like different, it doesn't make any sense. So like basically I'm not qualified to go to uni and it's just really funny to me. Oh my God, being overrun by chickens. The thing is, we already are. If all the chickens in the world, like, I think it's something like 600 chickens to 1 human or something ridiculous like that.
My auntie has 8 pet chickens. She's obsessed with them.
I started studying this year and COVID came and I have terrible stereotypical women as classmates. Everyone raved about college and it's so mediocre. See, that's the thing as well. Like, I like the idea of like uni life and whatnot. But like, I've been to one club. I've been to one club in my life. Yeah. And like it was for someone's birthday and we had a table and I just like sat at the table. Like it's not my thing. And like I like the idea of like the studious uni like aesthetic where it's like, you know, the glasses and the dark academia style.
Dark academia, yeah.
It's actually crying into a at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's what it's actually like.
But, there's times where I think like, would I like to, because obviously I could go as an adult returner. And there's times where I think about it, I'm like, but what would I study? Like, I liked history and like English, but like the only thing that I've ever had like an inkling to do was primary teaching, but there's just no way I could do it. Like, that's too much scheduling for me. Like, I couldn't do it. So I'm just like, you know, I would just be doing it for the sake of doing something, and that's not good because like, if obviously like for like if I was Keris, I would always be like, right, I need to do this because I need to then do this and go and get the job that I want. Whereas I'd be like, I'm just doing this for the shits and giggles, so I don't need to put any effort in. So like, I would be better just getting Karis to give me like PowerPoints and shit from online classes and give me her Zoom links and just join. I basically just need to audit classes, but I don't even know if you can do that in the UK. Like I see in America, people are like, oh yeah, I audited this like criminology class, and I'm like, how do I do that? Can I just email you like, I want to study criminology, but like I don't want qualification, so can I just come along to the lecture?
They'll let you, but they will charge you for the privilege of doing that. That's the thing, is it's so easy to get into uni now because they want bums on seats.
Scotland, also, like, higher education's free.
Continue going. So
the thing with Scotland though is higher education's free. So because I haven't went to uni, if I apply to like go and do like a fucking bachelor's degree and whatever, it doesn't cost me anything. So surely if I just want to go and view the classes, that should also be free.
In which case, can you like sign up for a PhD? I'll do the PhD and save me the £13,000 a year it's going to cost me to do that. Because like for me,
be an undergrad
I love learning it, and I just want. Oh, I'll do another undergrad. Fine. Like, what subject should we do it in this time? Like, I just love learning stuff. So for me, the uni experience, I just loved it, but I can't afford to go and do it again. And there's no justification. Like with Gareth saying, like getting a job afterwards. There's no job for someone who wants to do a PhD in creative writing.
Why is it the same? Right, for me, undergrad I found really difficult, like uni wise. Like I love my friends and like that whole experience was great. It wasn't like clubbing. It was, sitting in each other's living room just talking about TV shows. But I really liked the experience of being with them. The studying part of it I found really difficult. And then I did my master's, and it was the complete opposite, and I just loved learning. And when people go like, oh, if you won the lottery, what would you do? And I'm like, I would just go and do like a master's degree after master's degree and just learn for the sake of learning, because I just find it interesting. Like I would love to do a master's degree in like mythology or in English literature, because I haven't, my master's is in creative writing, or in sociology. I would find it so fascinating, and I just, if I won the lottery, that is what I would do.
Agreed. Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah. And I would be a bookseller on the side. I would write a book, and then I would do a part-time master's degree every 2 years.
Every 2 years. Yeah. That's the thing is, like, I was talking to my lecturer about when I finished my master's, I was like, I don't really want to go back into teaching. So my options are either I do that or I stay in higher education. So what are my options? And I spoke to him, and he was like, there's no jobs in higher academia. He's like, so you'll get your PhD and you won't be able to do anything with it.
Yeah, and creative writing is you're more likely to be hired as a creative writing lecturer if you have experience in writing than if you have qualifications. Yeah. Like obviously you need the qualification to be able to actually teach, but you need the experience more than you need the qualification. Like one of our lecturers didn't have any like formal higher educational qualification. He just was a screenwriter for BBC for like 30 years, and so he got a job teaching screenwriting because that is more valuable than a master's degree. So with like practical courses, that's also an issue. Whereas
it's also how they sell it as well. Like Manchester University at the moment has so many amazing authors as their lecturers, and they can like sell over the odds and get loads of bums on seats because they have these authors. So like when I did mine at Bath Spa, we worked with David Almond, who is the guy who wrote Skellig. And there's like some really fantastic authors like Faye Weldon and like loads of others on that course, but they're not as well known as the ones that are now at Manchester. So Manchester is now seen as a better university for creative writing. The course is fundamentally exactly the same. Yeah. You're going to study a whole bunch of books, you'll write an essay on it, and then you'll write your creative piece. And it's your creative piece that will be your biggest thing that you work on. And you end up writing, I think in total you write about 80,000 words over the year. I mean, I did mine on a werewolf story, so that was fun. Loved that. And I'd love to go back and do that, but like I would kill. So like I'd love to do one in like English literature, because I would love to do like a chronology of fantasy and like the different stems of fantasy, and looking at like historical fiction and gothic fiction and how that separates into like supernatural sci-fi and fantasy.
Yeah, are we the same person?
Maybe.
Story. My dissertation for my master's degree was a werewolf story. It was a werewolf Snow White retelling, and the title
Blood Moon.
Nice.
Blood Moon. And I found it so interesting to look at like names and how like names are used in fantasy in the genre, and I just
Kayla on Books and Lala just did I can't remember what it was. I think it was some sort of book video, funnily enough. But she was like, I think she was talking about upcoming releases, or no, it was her weirdly specific book recommendations for like weird books. And like when she got to like the horror stuff, she was like, there's at least 4 of these where the woman's name is Catherine. And I was like, it's so true. Like you get certain names that just like seem to appear.
Yeah, over and over again.
Kat says, it's interesting to get into college with this image in your head and the perfect journey, and you get there, everyone is that typical person and they suck.
Yeah.
Really not. Oh, bless me.
It isn't. And like as a teacher, I found it so difficult because you're pushed as a teacher to be like, right, you need to get this many students, this many grades so that they can go to university. Yeah. And it's like, but that student A doesn't want to go, B would actually be better off doing something practical because they're a kinetic learner rather than like a visual learner or whatever it is you need to be to like do that work yourself. Like I had a student who was like, he was a little shit, but I loved him. He was great. And he was like, Miss, there's literally no point me getting a GCSE in English. And I was like, everyone deserves a GCSE in English. He's like, nah, because my dad's a plasterer. His dad was a plasterer. I'll be a plasterer and I'll earn more than you do. And I was like, it's so annoying because it's so true. Yeah. Like he'll be on like 40,000 a year and I'll be like, please sir.
My head teacher was so mad because when I was like, because obviously at the end of 6th year, like I got into drama school. So I basically gave up because when I went back, I was like, right, I'm doing higher English and higher history, which is like A-level sort of thing. But they were like, you have to do 4 subjects. And I was like, well, can I not do advanced higher as well, which is like really hard. And you're not allowed really to crash them. If you didn't get higher, you're not supposed to like do above. And they were like, no, you can't take both because typically sometimes the exams are on at the same time. So like you'll have both higher and advanced higher taking the exam. So they were like, you can't sit both. And I was like, well, why can't I study both? And then if I'm showing like if I look like I'm gonna pass, you know, if it looks like I'm not doing well, put me into higher. And they were like, no, you have to take other things. So they forced me to take I can't remember. I was put into National 4 cake decorating, which is like not even worth it. And then I was like, nah, I'm in here with like 10-year-olds. Like, no. I mean, it was like 15-year-olds. I was like, nah, it's not happening. So I went and did higher philosophy. I was second top of the class. And by that, I mean, there was one girl who was fucking brilliant. And then I was just passing and everyone else was failing. But they were also, it was like, right, your other timetable, like you're free. You can either take higher French or higher modern studies. And I was like, I'm not doing French because it was with the French teacher that absolutely despised me and made my 3rd and 4th year fucking hell. And then I hated higher modern studies, but it was with the teacher who used to be my guidance teacher. And like, she was the one that was always like supporting me and being like, if you need to take half days or if you need like a week off, like it's cool. And it got to the point where I was like, I hate this class. So I just stopped going. Like I would go to the library and then she would like come into photocopy stuff. She'd be like, cool, yeah, or like I'd put my head and be like, I'm here. And she would mark me on the register and like, didn't care that I wasn't in class. And I was like, I could have studied advanced higher English and history and then got those qualifications. And then I would have had the opportunity to go to uni if I wanted, because I could have had the like one higher and like an advanced higher or something. I don't even know. But anyway. Yeah.
In the UK, like, well, at least in the school I went to, there are often clashes with the exams, and what happens then is that you sit the exam and then you get held by an exam, not like physically held, but you get held by an exam eventually.
No, they're really weird with Scotland. Like some exams, like some courses will end up at the same time. And what the thing is, the schools are allowed to move the exams by half an hour either forward or backwards.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It's a weird system.
Yeah.
And my school was particularly strange. My school was particularly strange because typically the way that it would work is like when you're picking subjects, typically it would be like a lot of schools, you have columns and it'll be like, right, here's your science column. Are you taking chemistry, biology, or physics? And you have to take one of them. And the same like with creative, you could take music or drama or art and you have to like take one of them. My school, I could have taken biology, chemistry, and physics.
Yeah.
So like it was better in the sense that it gave us more freedom, but also a lot more difficult because it meant that a lot of people were taking subjects that were more likely to clash. But I don't even know.
Right. Like, of course, you should be able to take all 3 sciences. Like, that's what it was like.
I think you could take them all, but like you have to kind of. Because like I think the way it works when they put in blocks is there might be like a block A and a block B, and block A might have like all the sciences as well as block B, but like so it might have like all the sciences, English and maths. So like I don't even know. I agree here with Robbie. Everyone would take drama and be like, oh, it's easy, and it's like, No.
No, because it's mostly essay writing, isn't it? Because you have to like analyze other plays and stuff like that. Like I should have taken drama because like that's what I was good at. But for GCSEs, I did French and Spanish, which was a mistake because I could barely speak French, and then learning Spanish on top of that, I would get the pronunciation because they're spelled almost exactly the same, but it's the pronunciation that was different. So like 6 weeks before my exams, I basically just binned Spanish off and just crammed French. And I had the same teacher for both. And he was so camp, but he was so lovely. But he did that classic really sassy. When I turned up for the Spanish oral exam and was just like, don't know how to answer any of these questions, he was like, oh, I see you haven't tried very hard or whatever. It was like really like dismissive. And then I absolutely smashed the French oral exam. And he was just like, oh, I loved it. Great. And I was just like, right, where was that last week? Like, I really with that last week. But I did for A level, I got kicked out of the girls' school because I was at a grammar school. I got kicked out for being stupid because I did chemistry, biology, psychology, and maths for A level. And I psychology. They were so hard. And basically I turned up on results day and all my friends were like getting their AS exams results and being like, oh my God, like I did really well. I got like failed everything except psychology, and my head of sixth form handed me my results and said, you haven't done well enough to come back next year, there's the connections officer. And that was it. Like I was out, like they didn't want to know. I then went to like another school. I went to Brock Hill and did psychology, English, which I should have done. And I think I did biology again. I must have done biology again because I went on the biology trip. And I did so much better. But one of the stories in Fat Lip is that like it's called Perpendicular, and basically I went to the Harvey and pretended that I was a student there because like at sixth form, even though there was like a girls' school and a boys' school, sixth formers used to swap. So you would go to the girls' school for the biology class, but you would go to the Harvey for physics because they had like certain teachers that had specialisms there. And I just rocked up once and was like, oh, I'm studying physics at the girls' school, but they've told me I need extra revision time, so they've said I should come along to this class. And the teacher just bought it and was just like, yeah, okay. Well, it was a complete lie. I turned up because the guy that I fancied was in that class and my friend had told me and was just like, come along to physics. And I was an asshole. Like I was really disruptive. I was like really like naughty. I went along the following week and there was an exam. He had decided, because he knew like almost like I was going to be there, was just like, right, we're doing a test so that Hannah can sit down and shut up. And I scored second highest in the class. And I was like, should have taken physics, clearly.
Oh my God.
That's my thing.
I find the results thing for England and that's so fucking weird. Like, I just think that's so wrong. Like, to just have them just like there at the school. Like, they mail hours out, but you can also get them emailed in text. And it's like, it's more private. Like, you don't have all your friends like, oh, did you get into uni then? It's just like my thing. Like,
yeah.
Like, I should have taken art, but in second year, because in first and second year, so year 7, year 8, you just kind of do everything, and then you pick. You still have to do English, maths, and like PE, in third and fourth year. But then you get to pick, like, you know, if you want to do modern studies, geography, history, all of that. And I remember wanting to take art, but my teacher in second year, he was really dismissive, and he was very much that sort of like we were doing perspective, and he was like, no, I disagree with, like, you haven't done it properly. And like, I just kind of thought, nah, like, if you're gonna not appreciate the fact that physical, like, obviously a lot of art is doing like the art history and the essays, but like, I just was like, you're not supportive, it's not very good. And like, I wish I had taken it, and I wish I'd stuck with French, because we had to take French in third and fourth year. I think, I don't know if it had to be French, definitely had to do a language. Our school was French, Spanish, and German, but pretty much everyone just did French. And as I say, the teacher was just so bad, and like, I wish I'd stuck with it, but
yeah,
never been asked what grade I got at uni. This is the thing as well, like, not even uni, but like, they made such an effort, a focus on like getting good qualifications to get a job, and it's like, I got a job without like any decent qualifications, because it doesn't matter. Like, obviously it was retail, working in a bookstore. Like, they basically, my interview was like, they were like, pick 5 books off our shelves and I want you to sell them to us. So I had to sit there, and I was like, had barely read at the time, so I picked like a book I read in English at school, and I picked like The Fault in Our Stars and like The Book Thief, and was like, ugh. But you know, like, it was very much like, you show us that you can do it.
But
and
it's
like,
also about, with Waterstones, not that I've ever walked at Waterstones, but it's also about knowing what's hot to them right now. So back in like 2012, if you picked up the Night Circus and sold them on it, they would be like, "You're in," because like that they were so big on the Night Circus. Like every single time I went to Waterstones in like 2011, 2012, 2013, they would recommend me the Night Circus, and I was like, "I got it, leave me alone." Hamnet is the thing like this year. It's like huge for Waterstones. Like they're always pushing Hamnet to me.
Do you know what though, that I could go on about Waterstones for so long. The problem is like they don't appreciate, like they don't put enough effort. I mean, I was in a small store, but they don't put enough effort into ensuring that they have staff with a wide range. The amount of times, like especially now, even in the big store in Princess Street in Edinburgh, like I'll go in and I'll be at the YA section, which is very small. And I remember like there was a woman who was looking for something for like a grandchild or a niece or whatever. And the bookseller's just like, "Oh, the Hunger Games, like Throne of Glass, Cassandra Clare," and I just sat there, and then the person like went away, and I was like, "Right, hun, it's like, what do they like to read, or do you want like a mix?" And it just frustrates me so much because like I know that you're not going to know everything, but I mean, even if I got asked to like recommend in sci-fi, if a customer's like, "Can you help me in sci-fi and fantasy?" I would genuinely be like, "Okay, look, I don't really know that much, but I sell a lot of this," because like I would keep in mind, like, okay, I've seen this random book getting sold a lot, or when I got back into BookTube, I was like, "Oh, people mention this," and that's the thing. Like a lot of these like booksellers, not to like shit on them, but like a lot of them will just maybe read the popular ones. They can say, "Oh, I read this and liked it," rather than going, "I haven't read it, but I've heard," and it just strikes me out. I could go on about it all day.
By me, the Swansea Waterstones, like I know the main manager. Like I don't know him, like I know him because of this like group I go to. So the fact that he's the main manager is how I know him. And sometimes I'll go in there and I'll see books in the like YA section that should be in the adult, or the other way around, or the middle grade section that should be in the adult. And and a few of us who go to this group are like, "So hi, you need to change this."
The problem as well, though, is the problem with that is with it being a corporate company is there's a system called Phoenix, which is like, if you ask a bookseller for like, if like, "Oh, do you have this book?" they will go and type on this system, and that system tells us where to categorize books, and we aren't allowed to like change it, because obviously if I'm looking at a book, if I get asked, like if somebody gets asked about let's say A Court of Thorns and Roses, and say the system says it's YA, right? Because I remember ours was in YA for a while, and I had to like go through a process to get it changed. But it's like, if the system says we have a copy and it's a YA book, if a bookseller who doesn't know that series is looking for it and they don't think, "Oh, I'll check another section," that book's then lost, and then it ends up on our system. Like we can go into our system and say, "Oh, we're supposed to have 2 copies, but we actually have none." And then when it comes to stock take, it's like all ruined, because it's like, so you know, it affects budget, and so like we have to stick. I say we have not worked there for 4 years. You've got to like stick to what the system says, and it's really fucking annoying.
Yeah, I don't, because it's just me.
Yeah, you're fine.
So these are adults over here.
I have to go. Part of the reason is because my laptop's on 2%. And the other part of the reason is because I need to do work. I feel like I'm not going to do work.
I like you're the one that keeps like talking about this stuff. So Tamar's leaving because we're going to have dinner. 100% Hannah ended up with 11 GCs, 9 A levels. See, that is insane to me. We only do like 5. Like
I got 13 GCSEs, I'm just saying.
And then we only do 1 year of like that level of exam sort of thing. So we only do like, I think we do about 8. Okay, this person keeps trying to make me go to Oxford. I went to this place, Rough School.
This school near me.
Gonna get some cleaning or things done. Bye, Carolyn. And Kat's also going. Yeah, I was thinking of only doing like 1 more sprint anyway, because I need to go and find Sneak and do dinner and stuff. So it's up to you, Hannah, if you still want to do another sprint, or if we just end it here while Kath is going out.
I have no more plans, so whatever. when this ends, I will be still reading. I will just have Sims on in the background instead.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? Because I'm actually kind of, you know, when you kind of like lose the will to live. I've kind of hit that point where I'm sat here. I think on that note, I will just like, because I'm actually getting hungry. So
yeah,
that's
what I'm doing. That's fair.
Yeah.
And it's been 2.5 hours, and I can't be arsed going for another half an hour to make it 3.
We're doing another one tomorrow anyway.
Yeah,
so
we'll do another one.
Exactly. So, and my cousin's just got in touch with me about rat food stuff, so I need to do all that shenanigans. So,
Sometimes.
what time?
Yeah.
What time are we doing tomorrow? We said we were going to say
I
by the
think
end.
we can, like, figure some stuff out because we can either do like early morning or like later on.
if I'm awake,
Early morning, I mean like 10.
again, well, do you know what? I was going to say no because I'm never awake until like 11, but I do want to start getting up earlier. So
Well,
let's
actually,
do that.
I probably am going to be busy. Like, we taking down the Christmas decorations tomorrow. So, should we say like 5?
Oh, Jesus Christ, Karen, is that really? I'm like getting an alarm ready to get myself up early. Now you're like,
no, let's make it 5. I like 5. 5 is a real nice time.
So, like,
5 is
this time tomorrow.
the weirdest fucking time dinner wise. I suppose I can have an early dinner with Gran. I can sort her out.
Well, we could do like a shorter one tomorrow. We could do like an hour and a half to 2 hours.
We can see what we do. We'll work it out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
This was fun.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So does anyone have anything they want to say before we go? Like, have you got anything happening on your channels or?
No.
I need to sort my content out because I've recorded loads. I just haven't uploaded any of it. So.
Oh, I did really well the other day and filmed 2 videos, and now I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm working on my Patreon. So I will hopefully have that up. I'm gonna have like a £1 a month tier that's like a really basic tier because like I know like I've got a lot of friends on Patreons and I'm like I want to support you but I can't afford like £5 per person, but like £1 a month I can do that. But yeah, so like I don't know, I need to figure out what I'm gonna do for it, and obviously I'll do more lives on there. Like my sneaky sprints like these I'll end up being on there more than I need to do regular sprints. I'm thinking Tuesdays I'm going to start regular weekly sprints. It's just a question of time. So
fair enough. Exciting stuff.
Back in uni on Tuesday. I'm back in school a week Monday, so I have nothing planned.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Thanks, Robbie.
You.
Right, and I always forget how to end it, even though there's a bright red button. It's like end broadcast. But thank you guys for joining us. I hope you read, you were productive, you did whatever, and we'll see you tomorrow on Karis's channel. Bye.